But I always tell people, just, it's a great way of dealing with shit. Yeah, things you deal with in life, it just helps you get off them and just. You get a work pressure, stuff happens in life, stuff happens at home, and you can always come down and just switch off. And great crack with lads. You forget about everything. You can just deal with stuff. But yeah, that's what I tell lads. Just come down, and it does end up becoming the second part of your life, but it helps you deal with every other part without even realising. There's other lads there that have dealt with similar stuff, and even like on the week of it happening, they were coming up training. Yeah, it's good. It's good for the head. Good for the head. The team side of it, as you can see here, even just the camp says it all. Like every year, you've a lot of the lads come back every single year. It's a serious team, atmosphere and so on every year. It's always great. Loyalty as well. Like you wouldn't be caught dead, unless you're visiting the gym, But it's joked about. There's no problem visiting gyms and all that. But there is a sense of loyalty, whether it's said or not. Lads just automatically have it. They get a sense of that off the senior belts, and that's the way it goes. And the rest of it sort of speaks for itself. The loyalty breeds the respect, and each bounce off each other. So yeah, it doesn't. We wouldn't say it's drilled in, but it's taught. It's sort of in the background without even doing it. It's there all the time.
First and foremost, we are a team. There is a lot of loyalty. A lot of Jiu Jitsu is built on that sort of loyalty ethos. It's an honour if you compete. If you compete for the gym, MMA, Jiu Jitsu, whatever, wrestling, it's always an honour to represent your team, your flag, your patch, whatever. And everyone's be respectful to each other. That's the beauty of it. Like even though it's compete as an individual but you really know that it's a team. That team spirit is behind it.
And I love training, I love weights and all, but I find my mind is always thinking about work. Okay, that client, I won't be in, he's not going to, my brain won't shut off. Whereas that's why I started to do Jiu-Jitsu, is because I was thinking I have no choice but to focus on what's happening. Because you're watching, then you're thinking, oh no, shit, I'm getting sick earlier, I have to get hold of that. Next of all, now you do it, and you're like, oh shit, you do what? I wasn't, you know what I mean? They're like, oh no, can you one more time? And then when they do it, so for me, it's more like, it's mental. It's making me feel mentally stronger because I'm learning more, I'm focused more, and but at the same time, sometimes, I don't know, I just think it's just great for your mind and your body. I think the two of them, and just to focus, and it is important to have women on the mats because it's just, I don't know, I think that we're kind of more fun sometimes, giggly and laughy, and can get into trouble. So we're still girls, but we can still batter the fellas. Like I batter everybody. Or like if I can't, I'm still going to try. What I mean? It's fun.
It gives you something that's unconditional. Like sometimes we get caught up in life, I think, with trying to meet agendas all the time and build up ladders, and it's important to do that. You know what I mean? But when you do something like join a martial arts academy, especially under the likes of Andy, because he's really all about bonds and family and working together as a team, that gives you something that's very meaningful in your life, and I think it's not only great for your fitness, jiu-jitsu, it's not only great for critical thinking in really stressful situations. It's just the family and the bonds that you create through that process is just, you couldn't even put it into words, really. I did MMA on and off for years, so Andy is traditional in the sense that he needs you there training in the gi and to put your craft in, and rightfully so. That's the way it should be done. You know what I mean? It shouldn't just be given it out. It needs to be earned. So yeah. So I got it last year after 15 years of doing jiu-jitsu. So it was pretty amazing. It was great. It means so much. It's not just a skill. It's an embodiment of character through a lot of hard work and friendships, Like there's nothing quite like, I think, rolling with somebody and then you submit each other and you shake hands after. Just that simple like process builds beautiful friendships. So yeah, it's given me a lot of meaning and contentment in my life.
Why did you start Jiu Jitsu?
I started Jiu Jitsu as a drunken dare. Like I never followed MMA, I never followed boxing or fighting or anything like that. I did yoga. I studied yoga in India, and I loved that ability of flow and motion, and I loved swimming. And I was out with some friends one night and we were all having a load of drinks, and one of the guys said, "You'd be great at Jiu Jitsu." I didn't know him, he was a friend of a friend. I said, "I'm not into all that punching and kicking." And he's like, no, Jiu Jitsu is playing chess with the body, because every part of your body is a different piece on the board and you have to play against the other person all the time. It's all about thinking. He said, "You'd be really good at that." So he says, "I dare you to try it out." I said, "Okay, I'll give it a go. So the next morning, Sunday, I woke up hungover and thought, I said I would do Jiu Jitsu. So I went online and looked at where the closest gym was to me. It just so happened to be Andy's. So I turned up the following Tuesday and he was doing a 10-week course for a nice price. I turned up the first day, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what a shrimp was, I hadn't a clue of anything. And they just took me in and I kept coming back every single week since. And that's it, and I love it. Like I still wouldn't know who's fighting or what the next MMA thing is, but it doesn't matter. I'm there for the exercise. I'm a hobbyist BJJ roller, but I still love it, and I've met some really, really good friends there, and it's great.
A little more aggressive than they have been, it's great. That's what we're very good at.
And something like that when Reza turned around and said, "That was great, well done, you're flowing a lot better." That's huge. That's huge, because it means the effort that you've put in has been worth it, and it gives you that sense of so it's all right, everything's okay. And you have to fail, because if you don't try anything because you're going to fail all the time, you don't get anywhere. And that's what this has taught me, that it's okay to fail, because you kind of have to, otherwise you wouldn't learn the lesson.
But Jiu-Jitsu increases your confidence in so many ways. Like, you make new friends, because to be honest, if you ask the people there, I don't know if they noticed, but I was actually scared to come over here this week, because it's my first time away from home ever, actually, and first time away out of the country by myself. And yesterday I actually didn't want to roll at first, because it was just an open mat, so it's a bit homesick. And then I got on the mat thinking, right, I'll try one roll. So I think I went with my friend Nadia. So I went with her, and then I went with the likes of Paul Redmond, who's in the UFC, Miles the Thundercat Price, who was in PFL, fought Henry Cejudo. I knew about Redzer, but I didn't know about likes of Andy Ryan, Neil Siri, and then my brother keeps reminding me every now and then, how many UFC legends did you roll with? And fighters, so I just list off. Let's say I'll be going home Sunday, I'll go to him. I rolled with Miles the Thundercat Price, Paul Redmond, The Bullet, Andy Ryan. Previous I mentioned the confidence, but what most people don't know is I've dyspraxia. So it's all to do with hand coordination, stuff like that. So let's say I've dysgumption in my hand, I can't throw it halfway across the room before I start Jiu-Jitsu. You're sort of fighting for your life in a roll. Get out of a move and get into another one. But then once that roll's over, you're friends. And camaraderie. As I said, the homesickness, I actually wasn't expecting it. But throughout the past few days, all my mates have been coming up to me every hour, let's say. Hey, alright, do you need anything? Do you want to talk to me? So they've been all looking out for me. Been the best I've ever been. Like, Jiu-Jitsu has honestly changed my life. I'm thankful for it and grateful for it. And then, if I get my black belt, or when, because I always have to say when, my goal would to be eventually open up my own Jiu-Jitsu gym and hopefully be an affiliate of Team Rhino and teach other people.
When I started doing Jiu-Jitsu, the only black belt in the country was John Kavanagh. I think Andy at the time was a purple belt when I started training with him. So even if you seen a purple belt all them years ago, it was like seeing Jesus Christ or something, you know. Like, there was a black belt was like something you only dreamt of. And then when it finally happens, you think you're gonna have all these superpowers and all these answers, but you don't. It's more of a journey to get there, you know. But I value it, and it's probably one of the best achievements of my life. That's without sounding cheesy. It means a lot, and especially to be a Team Rhino black belt. I was one of Andy's first black belts. Some of the other guys that got black belts got them off, who gave Andy his black belt, Rodrigo. But it was a privilege for me to get my black belt from Andy, you know. You have to be respectful, like, a martial arts, you know. And you have to be honourable as well, and loyalty, like, is a big thing for me in martial arts. Like, you get guys and they'll jump in and out of gyms, and there's nothing wrong with cross training with other gyms, like, that's fine, but like, to jump from gym to gym, like, I never really got it, you know. Like, for me, just training with Andy, I'd never for a minute thought of going anywhere else, you know what I mean? So you have to be, loyalty is a big thing, you know. Andy was super competitive when he was younger. When he was on the judo scene and stuff, like, he was the best in the country, you know. He's competed all over the world. He's so much experience. He's a tough motherfucker as well, you know. Like, even to this day, like, if you get to roll with Andy, like, even now, he can smash everyone, no problem, you know. He's got soft over the years, just a little bit, you know. But that comes with age. But it all drips down through the club, and that comes from the top, you know. Comes from the top, because Andy's always been super competitive. So any of the really top guys in our club, like MMA guys or Jiu-Jitsu guys, the guys that really competed all the time and fought on the big shows and all, they all got that dog in them from Andy, you know. So Andy plays a massive part, and the same with some of the other coaches, you know. Like Red's our teachers a lot now, you know, and he's starting to instill bits of him into some of the other guys, you know. But it's not all about being tough and competitive. I think the martial arts, the gym in general, it's good for everybody. It's good for your head, you know, get you out of the house. You don't have to be super competitive, you don't have to be a world-class athlete, you know. You can still do it, get to train with some really good guys and just enjoy martial arts, you know, and enjoy Team Rhino. It's a great place to be, you know. You're having a bad day or anything, you just turn up a training, it's gone, you just forget about it, you know.
Andy's ethos is very much just hard work, just shut the fuck up and do it. And that's why I got to the heights that I did, and that's why I had such a good career with MMA, and that is, he takes a no-nonsense approach, which it doesn't resonate with everyone, but that type of approach resonates with me, and it did, and you know, that's why I like Team Rhino, and that's why I have such a good rapport and relationship with Andy, and he's one of my closest friends, you know. So yeah, throughout the years I've seen a lot of people, even better Jiu-Jitsu players than myself in our gym. Some of them never last a black belt, you know. I started maybe obviously in 2008, and there was guys already purple and blue, purple, even brown belts there. They're not here anymore, and I made it to black belt through that. So I think it showed me that I can stick with one thing for an extended period of time and get good at something. Years ago, I used to think having a black belt was this sort of wizardry thing that, you know, you could only aspire to be or to get. I never sort of had it as I never thought I could get to a black belt. I never thought I would get good enough to be a black belt. But when I got it, it's a big realization that you're not as good as what you think you are. And now having a black belt is great and that, but it certainly humbles you when you go to, you know, other gyms and there's other black belts there, and you can get humbled pretty quick. So I think it's true what they say. When you get your black belt, that's the start of your learning process.
You know, I feel like that's once you join Team Rhino, you're not going to go anywhere else. I feel like you're just going to stay there. You know, Andy's just that type of a person, you know, he'd do anything for you. You know, I was actually just messing with Lisa there the other day that if it's not Andy Ryan giving me his black belt, my black belt, it has to be her, because I've just made such good friends with Lisa and she's the belt above me, you know, so she's definitely going to be a black belt before me. Or Redzer actually, because he gave me my blue belt, so I know it's going to be one of them giving me my black belt one day. I started Jiu Jitsu about a year and a half ago, like a year and 10 months ago, started January last year, and I've been loving it since. I'm literally in the gym every single day. You know, my life has changed completely since I started Jiu-Jitsu. I see nothing outside of it. You know, I've good goals, like when it comes to it, you know, Andy's probably going to laugh at me now when he watches this because he keeps taking the piss out of me, but I'd love to be on Polaris, you know, one day. I'd love to actually get something out of Jiu-Jitsu. I've fallen in love with it. Love that I feel like I have something to look forward to every day. You know, I used to always train, I used to always be in the gym and stuff, but I feel like with Jiu-Jitsu it's the community we have and the amount of friends I've made through it, and the friends that I have, you know, at the moment most of my friends are friends that I made through Jiu-Jitsu, and it's just something that makes me really happy, you know, so it's just something I want to keep at because I can't imagine my life without it anymore.
I mean, growing up, like I was probably I was a small chap, like especially with all my mates growing up, and I used to always get nailed like when we were playing rugby or something on the pitches, so from that it's probably brought me on in a confidence sense. I've probably, to be honest, leading on from the confidence, I've been trying to help out more in the gym, like with other people, with new individuals that are coming in, like just trying to be have a smile on my face, or be like a happy person in the gym, be welcome to new people, because like I know it is a tough thing to come into an MMA gym for the first time, like, so I think it's just kind of made me evolve as a person at whole, like just to become a better person overall and more of a stronger personality in the gym, just for the benefit of everyone in it, I think, in some sense.
I've been training 20 years. There's somebody that's been pushing me along for 20 years, and we don't normally do this, but we agreed to this. I think it's special memories we share with everyone. So, Peter Thompson. I've never done this before. I've never done this, so this is new to me.
We were looking at a photograph of camping had 16 years ago. He didn't come, you know, so it takes.
So it takes this long? Just
yeah. Well done, Okay, one more, just one more little thing. All right, so we have one belt to give out from Air Place HQ. This guy trained me a long time. Probably could have been this grade a couple of years ago, but then with injuries and work and partying, he went missing a little bit, then he was back. But very technical, connoisseur of the cheese board, am I right? Wine and cheese. Yeah. Really great asset to wear, Jim. You know, very good with the beginners, and actually a long time training in Jiu-Jitsu. Emma, get up there. Right, pal. This actually Dave's belt. The belt I brought you was too small. He has it on, so I'll get you a proper belt during the week. What the hell? Now, how long are you training? How long are you training?
Fucking 2000, 2001.
What's it?
2000, 2001 maybe. 2001 was it.
2000.
The old shed.
So there you are. Tell them how long you're training there. A few words of you.
I used to be sort of, I used to think about it over the years, and probably, like you said there, probably should have and could have got it sooner if I'd put the time in for longer periods, let's say. There was a good few setbacks, injuries and so on, knees, and you know yourself, and just life goes on. But, yeah, I kept coming back, and I'll keep coming back. So, yeah, long time coming, but I was going to keep coming until it happens. That was the main thing. I knew I'd get there at some point. I just had to keep coming before the injury stopped me. So.
That's it.
Well done, well done, well done, well done. I'll have to just warm me back up.
I'm sure, as you know, I'm sure Andy's about to get an award there with, along with John, for being like a pioneer of Jiu-Jitsu in Ireland and one of the first black belts, and like sort of helping it grow. And I've known Andy since then. I remember just when John and Andy were they were doing the same thing, that the SBG North Side, South Side and so on. And they were there on their own. They were trying to grow it with nobody else, and obviously they did a great job. Look at the place now. Like it's hard to turn around the corner. It's not a gym somewhere like this, and it's all down to it's all down to them, but it's pretty much all down to them. They got it going. They got the buzz about it back in the early years when no one knew what it was. So yeah, he's a great leader. Always there for the lads, and he's he like the motto of the team loyalty, respect, honor, respect. Like he like I said at the start, he would instill that in people, or he would promote that aspect of it without actually doing it. He'll say it the odd time, with newbies, and he might get a crack of a stick sometimes, but it's all the fun. But people do it automatically around him because he has that personality. So
Emmett is training 20 years. And a lot of guys who joined after him got their black belts. But everyone's journey is a bit different. That's what I like with Jiu-Jitsu, there's no handing over money and you're going to buy a belt off me. You got to serve your time. He's had a couple of injuries and then changes with jobs where he was up for that spot, then he would miss a little bit, and then he's back. He's very technical. He's very good on the mat, he's a real team player. And that loyalty thing, he's with me a long time. I never asked about a belt or black belts. Comes to all the camps, and I just spoke to Robbie and I said it would be really good to give him his belt on the camp instead of the normal grade, just to be a little bit different, make him little bit special about him, and give him something for this trip, a good memory for this trip. Which with the generation now that do MMA or Jiu-Jitsu, they do it more of a sport, or like playing football, like game of snooker, but it's not. It's a martial art, and it's something that you don't just do for a couple of weeks or one night a week. You got to live it, So those little words, we are a team together, and we're very loyal to each other. You got to respect each other. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, and honourable in everything you do. So that's we sort of push that martial arts way. A little bit of. You are going to be crying on the mat. It's not going to get out of your comfort zone, make it uncomfortable a little bit, because you are going to have challenges. Like when I started judo, I started when I was 6. I won one medal in 1982. I started in 79, and I didn't really win anything till around 86. I got battered for years, but I just kept going. you know. So I think it's too easy now for someone to fail and just not go back to it. So what if you get beaten? You know, I see people with records, you know, or I've won 52 jiu-jitsu matches. I've probably lost thousands of judo matches and won thousands, but probably lost 3 or 4 times more than I've won. And I think any good athlete is like that, any good competitor is like that, you know. The whole martial arts journey changes. So even the lads say to me, "You're going very soft." I'm not going very soft. I'm a bit easier on certain people. Like this camp a couple of times we've been killing sessions, but I have to judge what the level is at the camp and what the vibe is. And for me, it was a nice technical camp this time, you know. But the whole, I think it's the martial arts journey. Don't try and do it too quick. You know, don't be rushing to get that belt, and don't be, because people get a belt and they stop training. You know, just let it happen and enjoy it. That's really it.
Black belt, down from there. Down from there. Down from, come on, Sean's in there. Now, sit down,
It's the white gears. That's black. That's black gears. And the blue gears. White gears here. Yes. This is the white. Yours is white. So you are here. I'm not teaching colours, Jesus. Grand. And then if you're in a black gi, you're going to be like here, and if you're in a blue gi, you're going to be here.
And again!